The two soldiers run down that bridge connecting the towers towards you guys. You see the Griffin Rider starts slowly walking over towards one of the doors that are off the side of the tower. You then see the Griffin Rider puts his hand up in the air as the Griffin takes flight. But you still see that one package that the Griffin just dropped off on the top of the tower. Serena and Vim are actually confronting the two guys as you actually hear them clash. The one elven soldier lies dead behind you.
He's down. He's gone.
Alright, the guys are still going at it. As Dallin helps out Drina. As you hear them clashing swords.
I'll start going over.
Vim lays into the guy in front of him as he finishes him on the ground. Vim then helps Drina and Dallin on the other guys. Looks like the guy gets a real nice shot off Dallin, does some damage to him. Dallin kind of falls off to the side. Drina and Vim lay into the guy as he then falls down to his death.
Dallin, you okay?
As he starts getting up, he goes, yeah. He stands on his feet. It looks like he's fine. He just took a nice slash on his leg. It looks like Drina goes over towards his leg and starts helping him. Don't hear any other commotion from the two other doors. You guys start walking over towards the other tower. You hear a heavy rattling in the cage that was dropped off by the Griffin. The cage sounds like it's about to explode and smash on the other side of it.
Open the clock.
Alright, you start making your way over to the cage. You see down and goes, I probably don't have much time because I'm sure that rider is going to be out with more reinforcements.
Then we'll take them out. Where else are we going to go?
Underneath the cage, you actually see this figure that's crammed in there. It's a real large figure. Like a half-orc. Dark, kind of like peach human skin in a way. You see his huge shoulder plate inside with large spikes sticking out from the side of it. He's got a real angry growl. He's got a long kind of goatee split off into strands. And he's got muscles all down the side of his body. But he also has a lot of imprints all over his body as well as different types of tattoos and stuff like that. As he growls, you see two big canines coming out at either side of his bottom jaw. As he looks over towards you guys, as he goes, "Get me out of here!" As he gives a real heavy, growl.
Well, calm down. Like Drina.
Looks like everyone kind of backs away from the cage. As she kind of comes up behind you, she goes, "Yeah?"
Open up the cage.
I'm not opening up the cage. Dan looks over and goes, "I don't blame you."
Open up the cage.
Alright, as she kind of starts walking over towards the cage, slowly. As you see, Bonrai takes out his sword, and Vim throws his sword out also. She goes over to the cage and she goes, sit tight, sit tight. As you see, he's kind of shaking the cage. He stops. She then unlatches the cage. Sure enough, he then bursts out. You see he holds his hand up towards, kind of pushes her back with his hand. You see his fingers as well as hands are huge. As he looks off towards you guys, goes, "Where are we?"
We're in the same place as you are. We're fighting to get out of here too.
You see he snorts real loud as his snot kind of shoots out of his right side of his nose. As he wipes it away with the back of his right hand. As he goes, "I'm called Dune."
Doom?
Dune.
Dune.
Down goes, "I think he's Dune." "Dune, I say!" As he shouts loud. You see the elves kind of back away. They look at him. Ear of them goes, "He smells." He goes, "I want to get off of here." He goes, "Why was I captured?" A huge bird came from the sky and took Dune away. As Drina goes, "Welcome to the party."
Dune, there's a sword back there. If you want to grab it.
As he starts running off towards the other bodies laying on the ground, suiting himself up. You hear a large growl. The half-orc as he goes, "Burn!" He starts running across a bridge. It looks like another griffin landed on the opposite side of where you guys are. Looks like a rider. Nothing like the other rider, as another crate lands. You see he's got a long sword and a dagger in his hand. You see the rider screams off towards Dune and pulls back on the griffin. You see the griffin's claws pull up, and you see the griffin shriek. As you see the rest of your team kind of turns around, and Vim looks back as he goes, "Attack the griffin!" Down goes, "I don't know if we want to attack that bird."
But
you see Vim starts running down. You see Drana goes, "Tanik!"
But
you see...
but I've never fought one of those before!
Bonrai puts on his helmet and starts running behind Vim, supporting him.
They're elves. I'm guessing that they're smart. I'm honestly gonna follow their lead.
You see Down goes, "Attack!" And sure enough, Drana then runs behind. Dune actually makes contact with a griffin, which is quite scary. You see the rider then pulls back. The rider, as well as the griffin, start pulling away.
I will throw a dagger at the rider.
Roll your shot. Oh my god. You throw your dagger, and you notice the blade goes so fast through the air. You actually see that it goes like right past down the top of Down's head because he's in front of you. You see his cloak kind of whisks off the top of his helmet. It just like veers right past him. You hear the real like silent hum of the steel like splitting the air. True force. The head of the griffin moves to the right. You see the rider jolts off the saddle as you see he's trying to pull himself forward on the saddle. You see your blade split right towards the rider's forehead. You see the whole rider's forehead jolts back. You see a bag off the rider completely unlatches and hits the ground on top of the actual cage. As the back of the rider he falls off the griffin. His back hits the cage and he falls down like a mess. The dagger is sticking out of his forehead. As you see the griffin is kind of in disarray from the half-orc. You see the griffin takes off in the air. As you see Dune screaming off in the air as he's swinging his swords. And the rider lays completely dead off the shot you gave him. As you see Draina looks back with wide eyes towards you. As you kind of act like you're not surprised either, you start running forward. I'm the man. As you keep running towards him. The half-orc grabs the body of the rider and starts shaking it vigorously over towards the edge of the tower. You see them go, "No, dude, don't! Ooh, hold him off to the side over here!" As he goes, "Hey, you need to get thrown off this tower."
Don't know. Over towards
but
he has keys. Bring him here.
You see, he throws the body back on top of the tower.
I'll start searching him.
Alright, Vim and Bonray make their way over towards the cage, and they slowly kind of make their way towards it. As you walk over towards the body on the ground. As you see the bag that kind of unlatched from the rider, the bag is actually between you and the actual cage. You go to the rider as you look off towards that pouch that they all kind of have on the side of them. You find 2 more crystals that are locked with that smoke.
So the black.
Yep.
I'll look at the orc and I'll ask him. I'll be like, "Can you bring me the bag?"
Alright, as you see Dune looks around. As he walks over towards the bag, as he kicks it over towards you. As these bags are going to get us down from this tower. As he kicks the bag over towards you. As you grab the bag. As you look in the bag, your eyes kind of widen. You're like, "Ooh, we may be in business." You see about 15 of these blackened crystals. The rider actually was wearing what they kind of the foot soldiers wear. But you do find a silver necklace around this one rider. He was a male, with the paint and stuff like that. It's actually a ruby necklace he actually had around his neck. It's odd for him to wear something like this, so you feel a strong magic presence coming from the actual necklace. You hear the doors open off on the other side of the tower. As the doors then crank open, you actually see 2 figures come out. It looks like they're in these dark clothing, dark cloaks. As their feet aren't touching the ground. You actually see their bare, pale white skinned feet underneath this cloak. You see about 5 foot soldiers come out from behind them also. It seems like that rider organized a team. You see Bonray goes, "Tanik, there is that other mirror back there."
We're taking these people out. That elven sword needs to be returned.
That elven sword very well could be in that mirror. Vim starts walking forward. As he goes, "I agree with Tanik, we take these out." As he starts walking forward, the rider is not visible.
I'm going to throw a dagger at one of the floating people.
Alright, as you see Vim starts walking forward as Bonray goes to his side. As Vim walks over towards Dune, and you throw a dagger off towards
15. 6.
Alright, you throw your dagger off towards the one. You see the cloak kind of opens up as you see a blue electricity emits all over the whole cloak. As you see the dagger still stuck on the side of it. You don't hear any screams or anything, but you see that it's still kind of floating forward. They both float in position, and they stop. They're on the opposite side of this bridge. You see the 5 foot soldiers off on the other side also. As you hear Draina go, there's this cage still behind here as she starts taking the cover off and she starts calling you guys back. There's a Vim standing still with Bonray. not advancing, and neither is the other side. The other side's not advancing either. As Dune starts coming up towards the back of him, and Dowling runs over towards the cage too, and just starts kind of opening it. As you glance over, this female with all pure white skin, with a red circlet on top of her forehead, and she also has these red tattoos that cover her side of her head as well as her arm, and she's got like long black hair, and she has 2 blades off on her back.
Like, don't open it.
Alright, as you see Journey starts backing away from it. As Down also backs away from it. As you see them goes, guys, we need some front. We need to push forward.
Everyone push forward. Hit the magicians.
Dude pushes him and Bonray out of the way, and he starts running past them right towards the 2 witches.
I'll go up to the cage.
As you look over towards the female in the cage, as she kind of looks up towards you, like nowhere you look on her face, but like harmlessly. You hear the clash of doom hitting the 2 witches. As you hear this electricity kind of shooting off to the air. Vim shout out as he runs off. Bonray running off also.
I look at the girl and, but you are?
She goes, I am in the cage.
In her name?
I am a sister witch.
Of this tower.
She goes, not of this tower. She goes, I have a sister here that's evil, and I tend to take care of that.
Can you throw your weapons outside the cage?
She goes, I'll keep my weapons on me.
Well then, you'll stay inside the cage.
She goes, well, when the griffins come, they may mop you guys up. Dallon's kind of off towards your side, and you hear Draina runs off. She goes, I'm going to go help them.
Go help them, let me figure this out.
Dallon goes, you sure?
Yes.
As he starts running off, you actually hear another griffin roar past, but not come down.
Why were you taken here?
She goes, I came here off my own.
In a cage, by a griffin.
I sat myself in this cage. I tend to take care of anyone that takes me out of this cage. See, you're not a witch, though. She goes, are you one of the prisoners?
Of course I am.
Then free me. We can rid this tower of all of its evil.
Well, I know that you're not part of this evil.
I'm not a part of this evil, but my bloodline is.
Can I have your swords?
She goes, I don't trust to give my swords away.
Give me your swords and I'll get you out here. You have to trust me.
She sighs. She starts taking her blades off her back.
I'll grab them.
Alright, as you take the blades, you hear a lot of clashing behind you. As you hear steel hitting steel, and
I'll open up the cage.
you see she starts stepping out. You see she kind of backs away from the cage and kind of backs away from you also.
What's up with the mirrors?
Mirrors are transported through crystals. There's an altar that creates the smoke that allows the crystals passage. There's also a foot soldier coming out the door behind you as you stop, as you hear.
Can I trust you?
Because you have my blades. The only thing you have left is trust.
I'll just drop her blades on the floor, turn towards the guy.
Drop the 2 katana blades. They hit the ground. As soon as they hit the ground, you hear the guy's short sword pull out of his sheath. The foot soldier swings off towards you, and you
19.
you win it. So you swing.
7.
You swing. He then holds up his short sword as you guys clash swords. He then swings towards you.
Oh! 16, you just got it.
You get hit as you hear 2 blades become unsheathed behind you. You slightly give an elven prayer to yourself at hearing the 2 blades being unsheathed behind you. You swing towards this guy in front of you.
2.
You swing as he leaps out of the way. You completely miss. The witch behind you. You hear a real dark, weird, vicious voice emits behind your ear. You see the guy in front of you. Black smoke covers his arms as well as his legs as he's almost tied up in this black smoke. You see a short sword falls to the ground as he's just standing still, off the ground. The girl starts walking past him towards where the door is at. The guy's going, get me out of here!
I'll just throw him in the cage.
You slightly guide him over to the cage and actually push him in. He's yelling and screaming, and you close the cage and lock it. You throw the leather sack over top. He goes, I've got a family! Just let me free, come on!
You'll be freed. I'll start following you.
Alright, you hear the clash of battle still behind you. You glance over towards your comrades. It looks like they're holding their own. She runs off. You notice she doesn't have any shoes. It's all just kind of like bare feet. She runs off towards the doors and opens them up. And she slings sword sheaths on her back and puts her swords away. You then run off behind her. You see, sure enough, you see the block on the ground. And you see that passageway open to where that mirror was. You hear a blast come out of the mirror. Wherever she was going, she actually went through that mirror.
Start following after her.
You hold 2 gems in your pocket and 1 in your hand.
You hold your left hand out. Your right hand has the actual gem. Touch the cold mirror. You're a blast as you come through the other side. You see 4 hanging cages from the ceiling in a circular room. You see a door on the opposing side. The door is actually slightly open. A fire pit off in the center of the room with a green flame that's emitting from the actual burning wood. There's figures inside the cages.
I'll start letting them down.
Alright, as you look off on the side of the walls, you see a rope that go down to these iron rings that hold them up high. You go to the rope and you start sawing. You hear the cage bang down. A human looks over towards you and goes, "Free me, I need help." You look off towards the other ropes that are hanging up.
I'll let him out. I'll hand him the sword, the long sword. Free the others.
You pry the door open. You see the human comes out. He's just in tattered clothing. You hand him the longsword. He goes, "Thank you, thank you."
But free the others.
He goes over towards the side of the wall and starts letting them down.
I'll start going towards
You run towards the door that's cracked open. You put your head through the door. It's a blue flame that goes and smashes the side of the door, close towards your head. You jolt your head back inside. As you hook your head back out, you see the one witch has both blades pulled out as she is looking at an evil witch. You see her pale feet hanging out from underneath as she's floating up in a black cloak. A flame blade is in her right hand. You see a blue flames floating over her left hand as they're both clashing in combat.
So I'm pulling out a dagger as I start entering the room.
Alright, you pull out your dagger. You look over towards your left-hand side. On the wall, you actually see a heavy chain that goes off around the neck. This elven figure. She looks off towards you with beautiful facial features. Her hair kind of glows an emerald green. She looks off towards you as her eyes wide, bright emerald eyes. Her hand comes up and she's covered in a large, brown towel almost. She calls you over with her hand.
I'll run towards her, but as I'm running, I'll throw my dagger at the opposing witch. 19.
Ooh. Your dagger hits true. Oh, God.
9.
Nice shot. You throw your dagger as it hits right in the center of the witch's cloak. See her body follows back and bounces off the wall a little bit.
I'll pull out my short sword.
You run over towards the elf that's anchored to the wall. You start unsheathing your short sword. You see a blue flame emits from the hand at you dashing towards the prisoner up against the wall. The blue flame hits down towards your legs. Towards your legs, you feel electricity igniting up through your bottom as well as your top part of your body. You fall down towards a knee as you feel your teeth kind of chatter. You feel the pain erupting through your body. The elf puts your hand out towards you. You see a bright, emerald eye looking towards you. They can help as she holds her hand out towards you. You then start reaching your hand out towards her. You hear the clash of the other witch making contact with the evil witch. You then touch her hand as you hear a real soft type of elven voice enter your mind. You feel a complete calmness controls your body. As you hear the elven voice says, "I'm Ahn-Lay."
Ahn-Lay? Like the elven sword of the town?
As you then start speaking back to her, as you hear, "I'm the blade." As you start coming up towards your knees, you got a slight healing towards your body in a way, just off the touch of her. 2 points giving the health back towards you. As she pulls you closer towards you, you're wrapped in complete confusion. As you look over towards the chains of her in the wall.
I'll just split them. 20.
As you smash the steel ring, you see it shatters before you. She is then free. As she starts grabbing towards the neck part of the chain that's around her, you start helping her out. The one witch that you freed from the cage, you see her roots come out of the ground and then grapple her toward the ground, kind of stabilizing her. The evil witch starts making her way towards you. I know the other witch is grappled. You look over towards the evil witch as you start dashing towards her. You swing off towards the witch.
Yeah.
Nice.
10.
Alrighty. You hit the body of the being. You actually feel the bone as well as the body. You feel a slash hit true towards the center of her. You see the witch's body jolts backwards as the heavy cloak just kind of covers her face. She then swings the blade towards you. Whoa.
Do you feel sorry for her?
There's way too many 20s and 1s rolled. She swings towards you. You see the blade actually completely go out. The flame blade just The spell is completely cancelled. You see a real thin, fragile white hand comes out towards you as if there's a blade in it. And just completely hits the top of your armor as you feel it just kind of bounce. As you see the blue flame hand slowly kind of emitting fire. But you see actually she falls to her knees off the loss of magic. You hold up your blade.
Of course. 9.
Alright, you swing as you hear a crushing smash over the top of her shoulder. Her whole body smashes over lifelessly. As it's just, you hear like a screech as she falls to the cobblestone. She just lays there lifeless. As you look over towards the other witch, she sheathes her blade back in as she starts pulling the vines off her leggings.
I'll start helping her out.
She then thanks you. She goes, "My name is Valuin."
Tana, was that your sister?
No, I'm nothing like my sister.
I'll start going over to the witch. I'll just search her body, the one I put down.
Alright, you go over to the body. You actually find a crystal with blue smoke in it.
I'll ask her. Like, what's the blue smoke?
The blue smoke, if you use it in a mirror, it will teleport you to a non-mirror position. There is a realm beneath these towers. It's so far below that it actually reaches to demons, actually. My sister, that's where she gets her power, and that's where she draws her power. She goes, there's probably a good 15 to 20 different evil beings that are below. She goes, I think the blue smoke will represent the demons. She goes, if you use that into a mirror, she says, I don't think you'll be coming back.
Is your sister leading this group?
She's a partial lead of this. If she's in this tower, then I will hunt her down and kill her.
Why? Why this animosity towards your sister?
She goes, well, the sister destroyed everything I had.
That
She goes,
is?
I had a full family. She goes, I had a husband. I had a daughter. As you see, she starts kind of breaking down in front of you. She goes, everything I had was destroyed through my sister. You hear a blast behind you. It just sounds like that mirror has gone through. You mean your passage through the mirror behind you?
Oh, she went through.
Probably did, yeah.
I look at her, Buck. Look, I have one black crystal. It's me, you, and there's 4 other people back there.
She starts laughing a little bit. She goes, I never thought I'd group up with an elf.
Buck.
You kind of like look towards her, kind of sideways.
I look at her, Buck. If you never ever thought you'd teaming up with any other race besides your human self, then I feel sorry for you. You need to hang out with me then. We'll
You start walking over towards the doorway. You walk through the actual the doorway. There's 2 people left in the actual room.
What happened to the other 2?
As you see, the one guy goes, there's a mirror in the other room. You can actually take safe passage through the mirror. She has been very nice, and she's letting us through the portal.
More people?
As he goes, yes, we're actually getting ready to go in round. As these 2 people walk ahead of you. As you look over towards the witch, towards Valuin, and she kind of shrugs her shoulders as you guys start walking through the doorway towards the mirror. The mirror, you can see towards the other side of where you went. The 2 guys, the 2 prisoners, walk up towards it and touch it, simply touch it. As they jolt through, you see a blast coming through. As you see the other guy then touch it, he goes, it's as easy as touching the mirror, my friend. As he touches it, she blasts through.
I'll tell her, but I'll look at her, but just touch it.
Vela walks over and just touches it. She sure enough just blasts through.
I'll just touch it.
You sure enough just blast through. As soon as you come through the square room, you actually see the prisoners all standing in the one room. Ahn-Lay, you actually see her holding the cover over her body and holding the actual mirror with her right hand. As you both come through, you guys look over towards her. As you see, she kind of tilts her head towards you, and she then takes her hand off of it and holds a cover over her body. The prisoners start making their way out. You then hear a lot of commotion kind of going on as you guys walk out towards the top of the tower.
I'll start looking at the floor, but like start suiting up with what we have lying on the ground on my like.
You walk to the top of the tower, as you actually see that there's bodies on the top of the tower. Off in the distance, you see Drina and Dallin standing off in the center of the bridge that connects the towers. Look over towards you as they start running down towards you.
And the 4 people that we freed, human or
3 are human, 1 is an elf.
I look on Buck. What's your trade? Are you all warriors? or
You see a guy goes,
something else?
I'm a blacksmith. As you see, the other two humans are farmers. As you see the
You guys
one,
are definitely out of your element right now.
you see the elf looks over towards you as your hope rises. You see he goes, I'm also a farmer. You feel it shatter. The witch walks past you.
But can I have my longsword back? Pick up whatever weapon and armor's over here.
You see no hope.
Today
in
you're
that
warriors.
longsword. They go over top of the bodies. As you do see the bodies all off in the center of the bridgeway. As Drina and Dallin will start running over towards
Where's
you.
Vim?
As
and Bonrai?
Tanik, they went down towards the rider.
And the half orc?
He led. As they both look over towards you. We chose to stay behind because you're still back behind us.
Alright, we'll all start moving down. Let's all go.
Dallin's eyes kind of widen as he goes, who is she? As he looks over towards Ahn-Lay.
A friend.
Oh.
We'll start moving down.
Alright, you guys start walking over towards the passageway that goes in between towers. Drennan and Dallin run forward as the witch kind of stays off behind you guys. Ahn-Lay stays very, very close to you, but stays behind you. As you hear Dallin go, come on, they went down this way. You hear his voice echoing. He's like, oh,
Jeez.
God, he's being a hero now.
Alright.
You're trying to go, Tanik, you need the help. As you start running off behind her. As the other two slowly kind of walk behind you. And behind them are the pilgrims. A spiral staircase goes downward as it comes up towards the door. You hear a lot of commotion with the door down at the end of the spiral staircase.